Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Variable Barricade, continuing Ichi's board. And right, he just showed up with a bunch of shit, and all the girls went, ah! And ran to oogle our fiance. It was really fucking weird, but like, okay. I mean, again, if they came in like, a really hot guy came in for you, I get it, but like, your fiance's here, and they're like, ah! Girls, fucking simmer down. This is weird. I understand them being curious, but like fangirling over him, you don't know. He could look like a troll. Besides, like Ichi is hot, but he's not as hot as our butler. I fucking love Kasuga. Oh my god. Oh, and I like went into the CGs after the last part. I'm like, I need to just look at that one again. And the one of him where he's like little baby Kasuga, supposed to have 4 versions. We only got 1. So there's like 3 other versions of that CG we haven't seen yet. And I'm like, oh. And like he was like little baby butler pose, and I was like, wait. Are we gonna get like other butler pose? Oh! I'm like very excited. Although, you know, when you go into the CG gallery, there's like one for each one of the guys, and there's not a whole one for Kasuga, so like, I don't know what you playing at, game. Because I'm gonna marry this man. Don't you dare. I will fight you. I will find you, and I will fight you. I will be that 80-year-old woman rolling up into the fucking office of whoever I am still mad! I will be on my deathbed. Why did you let me marry my butler? Like, no one's gonna know what I'm talking about in the nursing home. Please. I'm gonna drop dead at my desk at work long before I turn 80. Anyway, by the time I reached the cafeteria, a large crowd had already gathered. And of course, at the center of it was... Spacey, I've been waiting for you. Oh, and you have Samugi with you. Ichio raised his hand in greeting when he saw me. The girls screamed. That alone made the crowd lose its collective mind. I mean... Look, if you've got a bad boy fetish, Tiger rolling up is, like, perfect. If you love dogs, Nayuta rolling up, great. But Shion or Ichio rolling up is honestly probably the best outcome, because I feel like they're going to appeal to the most. You're like, oh my god, Shion, he's so beautiful. He's like a supermodel. He's gorgeous. And then, like, I mean, I suppose it's not as what, like, you know, he's like a very feminine, beautiful man. So you'd have to be like, I'm into like feminine, beautiful men. But I feel like Ichia might like appeal to a broader range. You know, especially when he throws the cheese out. Because let's be real, he is full of cheese and it's kind of bullshit. And you're like, seriously? I kind of like it though. Even when we're like, oh god, it's so bad, but it's good. I love it. You know? If you had a man who threw that much out, you'd be like, this is a lot. You're a lot. I like it, though. I need you to simmer it down, but don't turn it off. Just turn the jet fuel blast into just like a light stream. We'll be better, you know? My, this has turned into a happening. I could just cry right now. Pushed by the stares of the crowd, I reluctantly made my way to the table where Ichia stood. He gracefully ducked around to pull a chair out for me. Please have a seat. The crowd again broke into an excited chorus. These girls are hard up for anything if that got them, like, frickin' turned on over here. Hiding my disappointment, I carefully composed myself as I sat. I just feel it's so funny you're so disappointed he showed up, not just because, like, they irritate you, but because I'm hungry and I just wanted to eat in peace. I'm sorry. I'd meant to give you this lunch at the gate and leave, but I guess things got a little out of hand. I smothered the urge to sigh. I could not afford to be anything other than perfectly polite in front of a crowd this large. Why the sudden decision to come for a visit? After you told me about the wonderful cafeteria here, I got curious. I asked Kasuga, and he was kind enough to answer a few of my questions. So apparently students here will order delivery or bring pre-made lunches from traditional Japanese restaurants. Hearing that kind of inspired me. I wanted to deliver a freshly made lunch to you. Yes, there are students who have food delivered to them, but they make certain to inform the school ahead of time and get permission. Ichiya, to be frank, how did you get in here? I got permission, of course. I asked Kasuga to get it for me. Kasuga. I resisted the urge to tear my hair out. I closed my eyes and took a deep breath. Listen, Kasuga, that is not in your favor right there. Like, she's like, Kasuga, might have to kill him. And Kasuga's like, I got him permission purposely so you'd be pissed off and hate him. You'd never be mad at me, though. No, that's true, actually. We'd be more mad. We'd be like, Kasuga, why? Oh, I didn't know I was doing anything wrong. And he was over there like, you will be mine. Oh, definitely, Kasuga. There's no question about that. I will always be yours. Look, I'm going to enjoy all the boys and their routes. But deep down inside, I'm going to be like, holding my breath for Kasuga. So, just saying. Ichiya, of course, didn't even notice. He continued talking. No, boasting. I figured this was a good chance to see just how talented the St. Agnes chefs were for myself. I'm hoping to ask them for some tips before I head home. But the biggest reason I wanted to come was so that I could deliver my love directly to you. Not surprised about the screaming. Our audience nearly lifted the roof off the cafeteria. I felt faint. Like, that's awesome, thanks, go, bye. Mr. Mitsumori, if you don't soon present the meal you prepared, I'm afraid lunchtime will end before anyone can enjoy it. Oh, right. I'll set it out for you right now, my sweet. I mean, okay, let's be real. Okay, I'm just, like, age gap and the creepiness of that, the game being weird about that aside. Okay, let's just pretend we're in college. Shh, it makes me feel better, okay? You're at school, and you're, like, at a preppy freaking school, and you're like, oh, it's lunchtime, okay, we're going to the cafeteria, and your fucking boyfriend shows up with, like, this, like, meal, and he, like, whips out a basket, and he puts the meal, but, like, I don't know, look, I get Ichiya is a fucking handful and a half, and, like, by handful, I mean he's a giant motherfucking basket you have to try to drag with your hand, and it's physically impossible, because he's just that much, but this is kind of nice. You're like, I don't hate this. Don't get it twisted. I can't tell you I like it because then you'll do it 7,000 times and I'll want to kill you. But, like, it's kind of nice. Like, it's not bad. Again, this is why, like, you're like, oh my god, he brings you lunch and he says cheesy shit to you. You're like, I kind of like it. It's annoying, but I like it. I don't know. Ichiya gave me one of his patented smiles and said something in front of me that I didn't expect. A set of gift boxes? Open whichever one you like, Spacey. I actually love the fact that he put tiny little sandwiches in tiny little pretty boxes. This is adorable. I know we're going to be starving to death later. It's the thought that counts. And, like, come on. This is kind of cute. As he suggested, I picked one of the little gift boxes and undid the ribbon, holding it closed. I can't. Oh, a fruit sandwich. Another little box held spring rolls stuffed to bursting with shrimp and avocado. And this food sounds great. Not every day, because sometimes you just want something basic and simple. But, like, again, fuck, this is kind of cool. And yet another held a little dish of wonderfully caramelized creme brulee. How cute. See, she likes it. This is cute! Undoing all the colorful ribbons did bring a sense of excitement, like I really was opening presents on my birthday or Christmas. It adheres to the girlish desire to taste just a bite of this or that, all while presenting it as a series of wonderful surprises. Oh wait, that's Samugi, not him. Never mind. Ahem. I'm sorry, it's the blue. I just see the blue and I think it's Ichiya. I don't know. Anyway. I feel like that is something that Ichiya would say, but anyway. It adheres to the girlish desire to taste just a bite of this or that, all while presenting it as a series of wonderful surprises. And most of all, the colorful boxes and ribbons have a cute allure to them no girl could resist. I mean, she's not wrong. This flopped up and I'm like, this is fucking adorable, I love this, I want a man to do this for me. All while spewing cheesy motherfucking lines and being a little over the top. Because, you know, it's like roleplay. Like, okay, but don't do that every day. Every day it's a little much and it's not as thrilling. You know what I mean? The fact that he does this every day, you're like, it gets... But this, you're like, this is fucking cute. If you were going to do the same thing for dinner and breakfast and then lunch the night and all the other fucking meals for the rest of my life. Because, like, the 300th time you do it, I'm like, oh, yeah, this again. Okay. You're perfect. Samugi nodded slowly, obviously impressed. Ichiya turned to look at me and asked, do you like it? I really, really hated to admit it, but I did honestly think it was cute. Be truthful with him, I feel like. I was reluctantly about to nod, but... Oh my gosh, he delivered a handmade lunch to school just for her. That is so sweet. He is a dream boyfriend. I hope that I can find someone this amazing someday. He is perfect. Having a gentleman like him for her summer. We're so happy. What's gonna... I'm so... I have 4... Yeah, kind of do. Gazes of envy and expectation stabbed into me. None of the girls in this crowd would be satisfied with a reluctant nod from me after a performance like, how should the Tojo family heir act when sitting down to a handmade lunch with their perfect boyfriend? I know the answer. My lips up in a smile and molded my face into a gentle, happy expression. Oh, he's gonna fuck. I love it. And he's like, wait, what? Huh? He just stared at me, blink. Look of shock on his... What's wrong? Oh. Didn't take my humble lunch to make you this happy. I'm glad I got to see you smile. He's blushing. That's cute. That's what it said. I'm just reading the lines, guys. They made me shriek. They didn't shriek in the background this time. The shrieks from the audience drilled into me, and I hit a wince. Samugi noticed and turned to the crowd. Ladies, please. It will be difficult for her to truly enjoy such a lovely lunch while she's under such scrutiny. Yes, let me ask you all to give her a little space, too. I put my heart into that lunch, and I'd like for her to savor every bite. At Samugi and Ichiya's gentle urging, the crowd slowly dispersed. At least to the edge of our vision, anyway. I apologize for all the fuss, my princess, but I meant it when I said I put my heart into this lunch for you. Samugi, you're welcome to have some, too. Oh, how kind of you. Well then, if you insist, shall we, Spacey? To be honest, the fuss had killed my appetite. But Samugi prodded me enough that I took a small bite of a mini muffin. It's good. A savory muffin, it had cheese and bacon baked into it. He must have made it entirely by hand. Ichiya knew how to cook. I couldn't deny that. He was tall, dark, and handsome, older, suave, skilled at spoiling those he cares for, and not at all shy about expressing his love. In the eyes of most people, he'd certainly be considered the ideal boyfriend. Ichiya noticed that I was staring at him and turned his patented cheesy smile on me. Yeah, it's that. It's that he's not honest. He's just like, it's like a facade. Like, what's the real you, Ichiya? Spacey, would you like to try a bite of this tofu quiche? There's zucchini and smoked salmon pinchos, too. Is it pincho? Is that what it's called? I don't know. He set morsel after morsel in front of me, and I quietly ate every bite. But that wasn't enough. I knew that the crowd watching me wanted more. They wanted to hear me say something. Fine, I'll finish the show for them. I swallowed a bite and painted a smile on my face. Thank you, Ichiya. In the corner of my eye, I could see Samugi's brow furrow when I smiled at Ichiya. She's over there like, the fuck? After lunch was finished, I saw him out to the school gate. There, Ichiya turned to face me. I didn't mean to cause such a fuss during your lunch. That couldn't have been pleasant for you. Honestly, it was extremely unpleasant. Downright painful even, but I couldn't say that. But I learned a lot by coming here, not the least of which is just how much the rest of the student body looks up to you. I turned my eyes away and thought. The rest of the students looking up to me. I couldn't deny it. But they didn't really look up to me. It was the Tojo name that held their fascination. All of a sudden, I felt my chest tighten. I turned away from Ichiya so he couldn't see me wince. I have to get back to class. Wait. He dashed off to his sports car, which was parked not far away. He rummaged around in it for a bit and came trotting back with a small bag in his hands. I baked some cookies, too. Feel free to share them with your friends if you like. was a cute little packet of cookies. I'm sure he went to a lot of work to bake them. Considering all his effort, I couldn't say no. I reached out to take the bag. Oh, CG! It's got like 4 cookies in it. Like, I'm gonna fucking share these? Fuck you. Look at how dreamy he looks. I felt a tug as my hands were swallowed by his. I looked up at his face in surprise. But it's like a dreamy, but it's kind of like a sad, wistful dreamy. Like, you can't see his pupils. He held my hands gently. Oh, so gently. Far more hesitantly, too, than I'd expected from someone with such an overabundance of confidence. I'm very sorry my surprise took you so off guard. I feel so deeply for you that I can't resist treating you like the princess you are. Ichio was unexpectedly serious, especially for him. I swallowed. I promise I won't barge in on you at school like this all the time, but cooking for you is the only thing I've found that I can do that the others can't. I want to nourish your love for me with my cooking, because it's so special to me. I thought I saw a little pain in Ichio's wry grimace. Memories of the look on his face when he asked me how his cooking tasted returned to my mind. Thoughtful, worried, insecure. He always acted confident, but under it all, he's bluffing. I paused a moment, then quietly said, I thought you knew exactly what girls liked, that you understood what they wanted. Let me pretend to be a little cool, please. I do my best as an older guy. I'm desperate, Spacey. Out of all of us, I'm the one who's furthest from you in age. Could you not keep bringing that up? Valid, but also stop. I try all the stunts that make wow, I can't read. I try all the stunts that make normal girls happy, but for some reason they don't work as well on you. Things that make normal girls happy, Something about what he said struck me as odd. Still, hearing the other girls say that we made a perfect couple did give me a little bit of confidence. He smiled at me. After a moment of thought, I said, Let go of my hands! It doesn't matter what others think. I feel like it doesn't matter what others think is the right answer, because let go of my hands is a little rude. You know, and we want to get love points with him. If we wanted to get just into bed with Kasuga as fast as possible, let go of my hands, goddammit. But, like, we gotta play the game, right? So I feel like it doesn't matter what others think. It matters what I think. Stop trying to appease them and appease me, damn it. But, yes, good. Good for me. Yos. I don't think it much matters what others think. Other people could say what they pleased. If I didn't decide that I liked him enough to choose him as my fiancé, then that was that. Well, that's how I wanted my words to be interpreted. Yes, Spacey, you're absolutely correct. What do we care what others think about us? We'll build our own paradise just for the two of us. What? Man, I never expected to hear you say something like that to me. And now I'm over the moon that I came here. Today's the happiest day of my life. No, that isn't what I meant at all. I was seized by a powerful urge to shout a denial, but Ichio's grip on my hands was growing stronger. And would you let go of my hands? Oh, I guess I should. I'm gonna guess maybe if you say let go of my hands, it's like, would you let go of my hands? It just goes right to that, so. Ichio reluctantly let my hand slide from his face still glowing with a brilliant smile. Then he leaned forward and whispered in my ear, though if they ever feel chilly, I'll gladly hold them again. Anytime, anywhere. That isn't what I meant! Ugh! There was no stopping him when he got like this. I glared at Ichio, desperately trying to keep myself from grinding my teeth into enamel stumps. He dropped his eyes, looking at his wristwatch. I really don't want to leave you, but it's probably time that I went home. Yes, go. Now. He raised his hand in a wave and walked over to his car. He opened the door. And then turned back around to me. I'm glad you enjoyed the lunch I made for you. I hope a little taste of my feelings spiced up the dishes. I hesitated a breath, wondering how I was supposed to react to that. I settled on a vague smile. Please, don't let anyone else see that smile. It's a precious jewel, and I'd die if a thief ever stole it from me. Good God. I'll see you again, back at home in our cozy love den. left me with his trademark schmaltzy wink and zoomed away in his sports car. Schmaltzy. As I watched him drive away, I rubbed my hands together. His hands were pretty chilly. Was he nervous, perhaps? Did he always feel like this? Was he nervous every time he spoke to me? Every time he served a meal for me? Looking at it that way, all of a sudden the attitude I'd taken with him seemed a little cold. That's why he's being so cheesy, because he's like, it's fake confidence. Welcome back. That certainly was a diversion. I didn't know what to say, so I simply held out the bag of cookies Ichia had given me. Here, eat these if you want them. But before Samugi could say more, she was interrupted by the chime of the bell. I sat at my desk and looked out the window, thoughts of Ichia right before he left floating in my mind. I'm surprised she didn't devour them on the way back, because she's probably starving. He's glad the lunch he cooked for me made me happy. The face I'd showed to him today was my public face. It's no mystery why he reacted well to it. My public face was one I wore specifically to please the people around me. And the sad part is like, Ichia definitely has a facade and a mask on, you know what I mean? Because he wants to seem confident and whatever, and like, he's really not. But like, we're also like, oh yes, Ichia, it was quite wonderful. And everyone's like, oh my god, they're perfect. And inside she's like, I hate him. And he's like, I don't know what I'm doing. They kind of make the perfect couple. Completely awkward, and then at home they're just like, she's just smiling awkwardly, and he's just like throwing out cheesy lines. And then he goes to bed and he's like, oh dear God, what the fuck? And she does the same thing, and like 20 years later in their marriage, they still actually have no clue who the other person really is. We're going to get to know him when his route, but right now, that's where this relationship is. Like, well, thinking about it, my public face was probably the one I ought to be wearing all the time. I mean, what normal girl wouldn't be overjoyed to see her ideal boyfriend come to visit her at school with a lunch made especially for her? I mean, right. That sounds amazing. But when you pair it with the fact that Ichia does this all the time and it's not really special, you know what I mean? Because he does it too much. It kind of ruins it. But like, if this was like a once in a, like, you know, where they're like, oh, I'm just going to do something really nice for you, just for no reason. And you're like, wow, that's really cool. Okay. I don't know. I just felt like it. Just something cute and nice. I mean, you can still do little nice things. You know what I mean? And that's the part of relationships that's great. Like, wait, did you do the dishes? Yeah, I don't know. I just felt like putting them away. Just figured I'd help. What? Okay, that's cool. Hey, you ironed my shirt for me? Cool. You know what I mean? Just little things. Or like, even if you ask, like, hey, could you iron my... Yeah, sure, I'll help you out. No, you know? Or you just like this. But it's the fact that he would do this all the time. And like, oh, look how great I am. And you're like, okay, it's not special anymore. But this one time, it was really special. You're like, oh my god, this is amazing. I love it so much. But if he does it every fucking Tuesday, you're like, oh, it's Tuesday. It's time to get presents for lunch. It's not as cute, you know? So, like, right now, she's like, he's over the top with how he feeds me and flaunts and does all this. And, like, to the outsiders, this is like, oh my god, it's so amazing and cute. And she's like, oh my god, can I just have a hot dog? Like, you know? I hadn't been. Could there be something wrong with me? Doubts ran through my mind, dampening my mood. It's because you know he's fake. Like everybody else, again, it's the outside. They're seeing the facade and they're like, oh, it's so cute. Like you see that, oh, look at that building. It's so beautiful. And then you go inside and you're like, what the mouse-infested shithole is this? You know what I mean? You're not seeing behind the walls. I spent the rest of the class sitting in a cloud of my own uncertainty. A whiz message. I'm going to assume we do the whiz message. Whoops, I went to Rabby. We don't get any more Rabby videos, I guess. Mind if I come again? Ichia. Oh, hi. Sorry for dropping in on you at your school without warning. If you don't mind, I'll happily make more packed lunches for you. I really think you deserve nothing less than the freshest, tastiest meals. Would it be okay if I delivered them? No, thank you. Ignore. Supposed to ignore him. Okay. Ignore, yes. Spacey? Hello? You're mad at me, aren't you? I'm not mad, but I can't say I appreciated what happened. I know. I won't go over to your school anymore. But I really want to make you lunches. Please. I guess. Thank you. If you have any requests, just let me know. I'll make you anything. I don't have any specific requests. Gotcha. I'll live up to your expectations. Question mark. I'm on board with the idea of my love for you being tested. Like how we just sigh at him. We typed out sigh. That's amazing. All right, I'm assuming we go to I can't take it anymore because, you know, it's the only thing that's available. Yep. I can't take it anymore. Oh, I'm right. I'm sorry. Before the end of the last part. A lunchtime delivery. Ichiya barges into school with packed lunch just for me. The whole cafeteria loses its mind. Okay. That, we didn't read that. I clicked it and I was like, fuck. So there you go. I can't take anymore. Common food doesn't suit me. What? For real? That's it. I'm fed up. Good morning, Spacey. Once again, I've whipped up a stunning breakfast that's every bit as special as you are. You know, maybe I just want to be bland like just fucking eggs and toast, okay? Ichiya put a plate in front of me with a single pancake on it that was no bigger than my palm. What the fuck? That's mean. I want the whole fucking batch, motherfucker. It was topped by 3 blueberries, a few decorative flourishes of whipped cream, and even some delicately placed silver confetto beads. You're not supposed to eat those. I just learned that. I don't know, I was reading something and it was like things that you're not supposed to, and it's like, oh, those sparkly little silver beads that they put on cupcakes, you're not supposed to eat them. like, why do you put them on cupcakes then? And I'm like, I've never seen those on things, but I'm guessing that's what they are. But it's like, because silver colored things are not meant to be eaten, because like the silver or whatever. But I'm like, I mean, they make like edible glitter and like edible food coloring where you can make something that's like silver colored. I guess it's just whatever they make those with is not. So I'm like, just make them edible. Maybe it's the shimmery stuff in them. Because, like, you can make gray, like, you know, but I guess you can't make silver. I don't know, whatever it was. So that just sounds like you're trying to kill me. I'm not supposed to eat those. And there's yogurt for you, too. Here, it's extra thick. The little cup had maybe 3 spoonfuls of yogurt. 3 spoonfuls of yogurt in a pancake. That is like, I'm on a crash diet and I'm starving myself. Is it a protein pancake where there's like a lot of protein in it to fill me up? Because otherwise, like, that's not going to work. I didn't say anything. I simply took up my fork and knife and cut the tiny pancake into even tinier pieces. Wouldn't it be funnier to just grab it with your hand and stuff it in your mouth all at once? Where's the rest? Give me food, Ichiya! Placing one teeny bite in my mouth, I chewed it daintily. Then I turned towards Ichiya. Oh, she's gonna lose her shit because she's starving. She's fucking hangry. Give the girl a Snickers! And smiled a gentle, kind smile. It's delicious. This is the calm before we punch him in the fucking face. Isn't it? I made sure it was. After all, making you happy first thing in the morning is one of the greatest honors in my life. Thank you for everything you do. Blinks rapidly. Smile on my face. Look, they're all of them are sweating and they look concerned. I love it. Babe, did you maybe fall out of bed and hit your head this morning? Oh, maybe she ate something funny. Are you feeling okay? You don't feel sick to your stomach, do you? Perhaps her memories of Ichiya were wiped clean. But I like the sweat and the concerned looks. Ichiya snorted at the others, who were all staring at me with funny looks. Jeez, guys, is it really that weird? I'm putting a lot of time and effort into making Spacey happy. Of course she's going to enjoy what I make for her. Yes, I'm grateful for the interesting twists you put on my dishes. Thank you. The words were no sooner out of my mouth than Ichiya presented me with a small cloth-wrapped box. Your lunch for today. I made it just the way you like it, and he's winking at me. Ichiya tipped his usual cheesy wink. I smiled at him. Okay, but now, pull the hair back a little, put sunglasses, a stupid hat, flip him the other way, and ding, 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 that's Kazu right there. I'm just saying. Kazu just is like, if you just like fucking like flip him on the horizontal there, that's freaking Kazu. You mirror him. That's the word I was looking for. Anyway, Ichiya tipped his usual cheesy wink. I smiled at him. Thank you. I'll be back this afternoon. You're all like, she doesn't sound like herself. See you then. Have fun. Wow. Spacey actually smiled at Ichia. There's something wrong here. Is she an alien clone? I hope there's nothing seriously wrong with her. Stress is terrible for the skin. They're all so right. Will that be enough? Expending energy to answer would only make me hungrier, so I simply picked up the mini sandwich wrap. Yes, the sandwich was cute to look at. It was cut into tiny bites and wrapped in colorful paper. But none of the tiny pieces amounted to a single bite. Okay, I need, like, Ichi in my life to make food for me so that I, like, stop overeating and I lose the weight that I gained in COVID, okay? I'm gonna need you to do that, make me fancy food that's small. And I'd be like, can I? No! Okay. Because, like, I can't be trusted. Okay. Like, oh, look, there's cookies. I ate them all. Like, I can't be trusted. You know? So I'm just saying, I'm gonna need somebody, but I need you to do it so that it's also filling and fulfilling to eat it, but like small. Because again, I can't be trusted. If you'd like, I'll share my lunch with you. Somebody offered one of her small rice balls to me. Honestly, the thing is like, can't you buy food here? It was a plain and simple one, just white rice wrapped in a sheet of nori seaweed. Looking at it suddenly made my throat tighten and tears well up in my eyes. I wanted to take it. I wanted to shove the whole thing in my mouth, like I thought you should do with the pancake. But instead I shook my head. No, that's all right. Thank you. Smokey looked at me worriedly, but right then 2 other girls walked past our table. Oh, look! Miss Jojo's lunch is so cute! I am sure her fiancé must have handmade it for her. I heard their whispers and felt their eyes boring holes into me. I know. I popped a bite of mini sandwich wrap into my mouth and dutifully turned up the corners of my lips. It's absolutely delicious. Spacey. Smokey sounded exasperated. I looked away. This has taken a very bad turn. Yes, Spacey. I am aware you're in a social position where you must always pay attention to how you act in public. However, that's only in public. Putting on a public face when you're in private with them will only make things more difficult for you later. She cast a meaningful glance at my lunchbox as if to say, look at how far this has already gone. We have gym class 5th period today. Are you sure you'll have enough energy for it? I'll be fine. I was sure. Probably. Mostly. I hoped. I'm home. Oh, welcome home, miss. I needed to see you, Kasuga! Hold me. I'm weak. Not from lack of food, but just from seeing your beautiful fucking visage in my face. I love him so much. Have I mentioned that? Did you know? Look, I hope my love for him amuses you as much as I have fun, like, just fawning over him, because otherwise somebody is like, oh god, shut up, we get it! Look, it's not gonna stop. If it annoys you at this point, it's never gonna get any better. And my ranting about how, like, my loving this game so much and we get to the end and I don't get to marry Kasuga and me being like, I hate this game! And getting violently angry about it, just fair warning, because that's gonna happen. Unless I get to marry the man. Then I'll cry. Joy. Anyway. My stomach rumbled loudly, cutting Kasuga off. Well, that's why he looks concerned. The body tells no lies. I slumped, hungry and exhausted. Kasuga smiled gently at me. I'm also hungry, which is funny. There's still some time yet until dinner. Allow me to prepare a small snack for you. Is there anything you'd prefer? Like an entire cow? Something that's not cute or fancy. And lots of it. I see. This is bad. If possible, I'd really love some of Sumiko's cooking. Candied chestnuts, stewed pumpkin, vegetables, and soy sauce. The thought of her cooking alone was enough to make me salivate. I could remember the taste so well. If I could have some of her cooking right now, I'd never want for anything else. Nothing at all.
I would love to do that, miss. Unfortunately, Miss Sumiko is the madam's chef. Bringing her away from the main estate might be difficult.
I know. I just thought I'd try asking.
Though it may be possible to request that Miss Sumiko make a trip out here on her day off.
I shook my head. I couldn't take her day off away from her. You're like, can't you just ask her to make me some and just go pick it up and bring it here? I'll put it in the microwave. I don't even give a shit. If I asked, I know she'd come right away. A commotion in the living room yanked me out of my thoughts. She's like, I just wanted some crackers and I can't even have them. Kasuga was going to get me some snacks and now they're all being in a fucking ruckus. And I'm like, I am hungry. I just wanted that one fucking Triscuit. Can't even have it. What's going on? Bye, Kasuga. I love you. I walked over to see what was happening. Inside the room, I saw an enormous pile of daifuku rice cakes stacked on the table, pyramid style. Daifuku! Just makes me think of Daifuku and Olympia Soaring. He was so cute and fat.
Yeah, hi Spacey, welcome back. We have a whole bunch of daifuku cakes today. It's practically daifuku heaven. Come and look.
Mayuta took me by the hand and guided me closer to the daifuku hill on the table. The smooth, white mochi cakes were stuffed so full of bean paste they looked fit to burst. And each was uneven, the hallmark of being handmade. My very favorite kind of daifuku cakes. Where did you get these? Can I eat them? Stuffs one in my mouth really quick.
And the granny I see at the park gave them to me. She said I should share them with my friends. She knows how much I love to eat. That's why she gave me a ton.
She knows how much I eat. That's why she gave me a ton. Anyway. Really? Mayuta's words barely reached my ears. They were practically drowned out by the rumbling of my stomach.
Have some, babe. Granny cooking's the real deal.
I never had a daifuku cake before. It was rather tasty. Jeeves, could you pour some green tea, please?
Of course. Come on, go on and dig in. They're really chewy and delicious.
I resisted the urge to snatch one up for myself and stuff it in my mouth. Instead, I held out my hand to accept the cake Mayuta was holding out to me. Uh-oh.
Hold it!
Mayuta, put that down. Now.
Huh? Put what down? This daifuku cake?
Yeah, right into my hand, Mayuta!
Don't you listen to Ichiya. Here, boy. Give it to me.
Mayuta looked confused, but he still lowered the hand holding the daifuku cake. No! I have already prepared proper sweets just for her. I'd appreciate it if you stopped trying to feed her garbage that strange ladies give you in the park.
Whoa! Ichiya. Bro. That was uncalled for. What's wrong with daifuku cakes? They're great.
And also, Granny's made them. Granny-made cakes are way better. I'm sorry. Like, he's not wrong. Little old ladies know how to make sweets. They've been doing it their whole lives. They're perfect. Not too sweet, not too bland.
Yeah, they're right. My granny friend is really, really good at cooking.
Exactly. I can tell they'll be delicious just by looking at them. They could literally actually be garbage, and she'd probably think they were delicious because she's starving. Though he was attacked from all sides, Ichiya simply shrugged his shoulders and shook his head. What? And don't tell me none of you have noticed. Those daifuku are dusted in powdered sugar. And do you have any idea what will happen when you eat them? They've already eaten them.
They'll taste really good?
Word. Like elephant ears? I'm sorry, fried dough for normal people. I don't know why in Florida they were always called elephant ears when you went to the state fairs, but like, just fried dough. Hello. Fuck yeah. Covered in powdered sugar. Oh my god. Fry some Oreos up when you go to a fair. Dip them in powdered sugar, motherfucker. Snort that shit. Don't snort powdered sugar. I'm sure it hurts. But like, fuck yeah. No. You'll get white powder all around your mouth. What proper lady could bear that humiliation? I'll fucking suffer. He wasn't going to listen to them. Keeping my tone reasonable, I spoke up. Ichiya, I enjoy daifuku cakes too. Besides, they're a gift we received. I know. You're the type of kind and caring person who always thinks of others' feelings. I'm sure you'd eat them neatly, too. But you deserve better because you're so lovely. You deserve something that's tasty, of course, but also easy to eat. Something cute and dainty. Ichia snorted in contempt and continued. Those daifuku cakes were made by some middle-class grandma. The very picture of bland suburban cooking. Nary a cute nor classy crumb abounds on those cakes. Commoner cooking isn't suited to Spacey in the least. It's nowhere near good enough for her palate. I'm sorry, you say that like commoner cooking or shit out of a goddamn truck isn't like the best fucking food.
Here's my fancy meal at a fancy restaurant. Costs $200 a plate.
That's nice. I'm gonna go down the street for the $5 fucking burrito off the truck that's like the size of my fucking head and tastes like heaven. And love. Okay? You go ahead and eat your tiny little piece of cardboard that costs $200. Have fun with that. Go into the burrito truck! Fucking food off a truck is some of the best shit. Dive bars and like little hole-in-the-wall places where you're like, ooh, is this gonna safe to go in? Best food. Diners, best food. I'm serious. Like, some of the best food is made from, like, some of the worst places. Like, I mean, there's a limit, obviously. But you know what I mean? Like, those little hole-in-the-wall bars, dive bars, like, freaking diners where you're always like, oh, like, super rich people be like, ew, so unclassy. Food trucks, diners. And you're like, yes. Best shit. Best shit. Ichi, I'm gonna backhand the fuck out of you, and then we're going to a food truck. Doesn't suit me. My brow's furrowed. Something about Ichia's words struck me as off. I like the fact that he's like, she's too refined to eat commoner food, and she's like, I will punch you. Old lady daifuku cakes are great. Instead of being like, yes, I'm a snob. She's like, bitch, food is food. Oh? Then what cooking would suit me? Something dainty and colorful, of course, and cute and clever with every last touch perfectly placed. You deserve only the fanciest, only the very best. Snap! I felt something inside me break. And if I told you that I preferred a normal daifuku cake to anything fancy? Huh? Are those cakes not girly enough? Will I corrupt your idea of a perfect lady if I admit I like them? Spacey? I glared at Ichi as I held out my hand towards Nayuta again. Give me that daifuku cake! This instant! Huh? Right. The cake plopped into my hand with a weighty thump. I opened my mouth wide and... Chomp! Gobble, gobble, gobble! I stuffed the entire fist-sized cake into my mouth, my mochi-stuffed cheeks swelling outward as I chewed. I love the fact that she snapped so hard. She was like, I'm just gonna take, like, normal people bites as I eat this and pretend I'm not starving to death. Like, just... And this time she's like, no, I'm so fucking pissed. I'm gonna fucking full-face this son of a bitch! Oh, and then she's like, and you know what? She's crumbs flying everywhere. She's gonna stuff like 6 more in her mouth just to spite Ichia, but also because she's hungry. Kazuka's over there in the corner like, what the fuck is happening? That's alright, I like it. Like, he's probably shocked, but also kind of laughing to himself. He's like, Swallowing the giant mouthful, I wiped my mouth with the back of my hand, leaving a big white streak behind. Classless. I love it. Another! Yes, Mayuto obeyed, handing me another plump daifuku cake. I shoved it into my mouth and wolfed it down as quickly and crudely as the first. I love this. It's so funny. Gobble, gobble, gobble! I imagine she's angrily eating. Actually, Kasuga looks slightly concerned. He's probably like, if the first, he was probably like laughing at himself. She's telling Ichi, she's gonna choke. Like,
Miss Spacey, here, a tea.
I took the cup of tea and slammed it, washing down the last of the second cake.
Miss, please wipe your mouth. Well, your entire face. You're so dusted with powdered sugar you look like a ghost.
I took the hand towel he handed to me, resisting the urge to tell him to shut up. I kind of feel like you should, because I want him to be like, oh, wait, I get what Nayuta and Ichi are on about. Also, don't tell him to shut up. We love Kasuga. We don't want to ever say anything mean to him. We've said sort of mean things, and it's like, oh god, that hurts me more! I know it hurt you, but it hurts me more to say that to you. Shit! After I wiped the last of the powdered sugar from around my mouth, I turned my best smile on Nayuta. Thank you, Nayuta. Those were delicious. Please give my regards to your grandmother, friend. Yes, I absolutely definitely will. Nayuta nodded so hard I was afraid his head would snap. I giggled, then turned to look at Ichiya. Contemptuously. His gaze held mine, fearfully. I saw his eyebrow twitch as he moved backwards one step. I love the fact that we're terrorizing him now. Say, Ichiya? Yeah? I am a girl, yes, but I still like larger portions when I eat. I will ask for seconds, even thirds! And I like daifuku cakes even if I get sugar on my face. Also, I like Japanese food better than Western food. Yes, I do like cute things. I do appreciate that you cook for me. It tastes good, and I will eat every bite. But I I finally understood why his remark had struck me as strange. Ichiya hadn't been trying to make me happy at all. This whole time he'd been cooking according to how he believed a normal girl should eat. You haven't been cooking for me this entire time. Ichiya stared at me, absolutely gobsmacked. Nayuta? Yes'm. May I have another daifuku cake? Yes'm. He timidly sidled up to me and gently placed another cake in my hand. I shot Ichiya one last glare before I emphatically turned my back on him and left the living room. Amazing. I love the fact that she snapped and stuffed that fucking cake down her throat, and Kasuga's over there like, she's gonna choke. Oh! Babe finally snapped, eh? Yeah, but she really liked the daifuku cakes. I have to go give Granny my thanks. She did seem to prefer them to anything else she's had. Right? I'm so surprised that this is the kind of stuff that Spacey really likes. I feel bad that we hurt Ichiya's feelings, but he kind of needed it. Like, he needed it. And he's over there sad, and this is one of those things, she's like, huh! And now he's over there sad, and you're like, ah, fuck. It's like when you yell at a dog for it's like when I yell at the bird for pooping on my floor, like, no, bad bird. And then he looks at me, and I'm like, oh, stop it, I love you, but just don't poop on my fucking floor. Like, he's sitting with me right now. Or when he's shrieking and screaming, so I go downstairs, I'm like, fine, you're coming upstairs with me. And he's like, oh, what are you doing? And it's like, I gave angry voice to him. He's like, I don't like angry voice. I'm sorry, buddy, but your screaming is irritating. He's just sitting in the back of my neck all curled up happy. He gives no fucks. He can't see me, so he screams, but that's how you feel. You're like, bad dog pooping on the carpet. And then he looks at you like that, and you're like, no, buddy, it's okay. Just don't poop on the carpet. And then they're like, so I poop on the carpet? Like, at least Nayuta's potty trained, Jesus.
Ichiya, you're quite pale. Are you all right?
Oh, whoa, he's right. Here, have one of Granny's daifuku cakes. It'll give you strength. Yeah, bro, cheer up. I figure she just got sick of all the dainty girly food you keep trying to feed her. Next time, try something simple. Like, seriously.
Indeed. I hope you finally come to understand what she means by the normal meals she's been asking for. You certainly did hit a nerve with that one remark.
A nerve? Which remark?
The commoner cooking you so confidently declared didn't suit her was the kind of cooking Miss Spacey most enjoyed growing up.
I thought we broke Ichiya, but nope. There you go. Kasuga just killed Ichiya. A body has been discovered! Oh, God. Repentance, regrets, and Ichiya ran away. Is it possible he's thinking about withdrawing as my suitor? Oh, he didn't get kidnapped. He ran the fuck away. Taiga didn't get kidnapped. We thought he was, like, just gonna get his, like, knees broken by the mafia, but... Okay, so this is the one we read. I mean, there's nothing else to read, so I don't know why I was questioning it, but whatever. Play this event? Yup. Should I apologize? For part of it, anyway. I looked at my reflection in the mirror. It didn't give me an answer. I didn't think that what I did yesterday was wrong, per se. I do like common suburban-style cooking, and I don't think it's polite to nitpick food given as a gift. But maybe I went a little overboard with my reaction. I mean, I feel like you could apologize to him and be like, look, your cooking is amazing. It really is. But you keep trying to feed me what you think a normal girl eats, and it makes me feel insulted that, like, I don't fit into this tiny little itty-bitty microscopic dainty little box that you've crafted to put the food in that you're trying to feed me, okay? Okay. But, like, also, I shouldn't have screamed at you like that, but I was hangry, motherfucker. I haven't eaten since you got here. Because you're basically starving me. Probably should have had a couple Snickers and then come back to you like that. Probably should have talked to you a little bit sooner about it and made everything clear that I didn't want to hurt your feelings, but like, it's out there now. Let's just have this discussion now. Okay, yeah. All right. Look. Handled poorly. I was hangry. It's not an excuse. It's just how it happened. But anyway. I couldn't think of a good answer. I eventually gave up and plodded downstairs. Why the fuck is there no breakfast? Good morning! I peeked into the dining room. Kasuga greeted me with his usual smile. For some reason, he was holding a bowl of miso soup.
Good morning, miss. I'll prepare breakfast for you right away.
Confused, I looked around the dining room. Shion was there, along with Taiga and Nayuta. No one else. What are you looking around for, babe? If it's Ichi you want, he ran away from home. Damn, Kasuga's miso soup's pretty good. Taiga's offhanded comment caught me entirely off guard. I wasn't sure I heard it correctly. The fact that a grown-ass man ran away from home. Like, he ran away from home? Oh, we gotta put up posters! Have you seen this lost, somewhat idiot dog? Not quite a dog. Still kind of an idiot. Yeah! Last night he kind of wandered outside and hasn't come back yet. Why did you let him go outside without a leash? Wait, that's Nayuta. Wait, you know what? Ichi's kind of like a dog, too. They're all kind of dumb animals. And no one's out looking for him? He's an adult. He'll be fine. I figure he'll wander on back here when he gets hungry enough. Ooh, I'll let me a bite of that. Hey, that's my fish. Shut up. Just ask for more. Unlike somebody I can name, Kasuga isn't stingy about making enough. Well, yeah, but still, it's mine. I just assume he growls.
Come, Spacey, let's hurry and eat breakfast. You said you enjoy Japanese food, right?
Shion had no sooner said that than Kasuga appeared carrying a tray with my breakfast on it.
Go on, miss. Hurry or you'll be late.
As told, I started to eat my breakfast. But Ichia running away? I hadn't meant to hurt him. Certainly not badly enough that he felt like he had to run away in the night. I do feel like we're talking about a dog right now. I wondered what he had felt when he left. What was he thinking? What did he hope to do, if anything at all? Will he really come back? With all the questions lodged in my chest, it was a wonder I managed to push my breakfast past any of them. And when I woke up in the morning, he'd already disappeared. Lunchtime, Samugi and I sat together as always. You're like, but it's so good to actually not be starving for once. After I finished telling her the story, she nodded and said, well then no wonder you didn't bring a packed lunch with you today. I looked down at my plate. Samugi sighed. Spacey. Her voice was unexpectedly stern. I'm sorry. Spacey. I felt my shoulders slump. When I looked up, I saw her smiling brightly at me. But her eyes were cold as ice. I did warn you, correct? I told you that it wasn't wise to wear your public face in private. You did. Yes, Mr. Mitsumori is at fault for insulting food that isn't gourmet, and for assuming all girls enjoy cute, dainty food. But did you let him know that you preferred Japanese food to Western? Did you ever ask him for seconds? Even once, Spacey? All I could do was shake my head. And then how could you expect him to know what you wanted? Your vanity and reluctance are equally at fault for the current situation. When he came here to deliver your lunch one day, you said you liked it. Is it any wonder that he thought he was giving you what you wanted after that? Samugi was right. I thought back on our talk at the school gate that day and the happy expression on his face. He'd said he was glad I enjoyed the lunch he made. holding my hands with his cold ones. He must have thought he finally found the ticket to making you happy, and you ripped it up in his face. It must have been such a terrible shock for the poor man. So much so that he couldn't help but vanish into the night, carrying nothing but the clothes on his back. I do feel bad about it. There was a reason he kept forcing skimpy meals on me. It was because I responded positively to them. I gave him the reaction he wanted to see. That's why. I balled my fists and looked down, racked with guilt. Samugi gave me a wry grimace. You try so hard to live up to others' expectations of you, Spacey. You desire to give people what they want. And that is, of course, a wonderful virtue. But if you want someone to communicate with you honestly, you have to let them know who you really are. I know. The only person that we communicate honestly with is Kasuga, sorta. Sorta. We've kind of backed away a little bit, like, instead of being like, Kasuga, do you have a girlfriend? Do you need more time off? And he's like, listen, bitch, I don't want to leave you. And you're like, okay, cool. As long as we're on the same page that I want you here with me forever and you want to be with me forever and we should just get married, right? Awesome. High five for that. Let's go. I'm just saying. Then we wouldn't be here in this situation, would we? Of course, then we wouldn't have this game. And I mean, I kind of enjoy the romantic torture just a little. As long as I get Kasuga in the end. I'm not going to get Kasuga. This game is going to rip my heart out. Anyway. Now I suppose I can understand why a maiden in love wouldn't want the gentleman she fancies to think she has a dainty appetite and likes cute sweets. Why she would want. Never mind. I can understand why a maiden in love would want the gentleman. Okay. True, it does make... Wait a minute! Maiden in love? Where do you think you're taking this conversation? Oh, is that not what this was about? You didn't want Mr. Mitsumori to think you were a glutton or liked unfashionable, boring food, correct? In other words, you wanted him to think of you as cute and desirable. And that's how a smitten maiden acts. No, I do not! Samugi only looked at me and smiled. I felt my face grow hotter and hotter. That's not it. It's not at all. I mean, me? And Ichiya? Ugh! No! So adorable. I fixed her with a disgruntled glare. What was that? Anyway, Samugi pretended not to hear. She continued her lecture cheerfully. Right now, let's focus on mending any troubles between you. If you don't know where he is, perhaps you should send him a whisk message and ask. Well, there wasn't any other way I could find him. I reluctantly nodded and Samugi smiled. We're close to time. I think this is a good place to stop. Just because this could be like, again, one of those cute little short scenes, or it could be like the rest of the fucking chapter. I don't know. You know what I mean? And I don't want to go too far over. Plus, I'm hangry. And I might tell Ichiya off at this point. Anyway, so yeah, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.